by doing that. Well, credit the French. They're not packing it in. They are trying everything they know, and they would celebrate like you wouldn't want to believe if they actually get over for a try here. This is the winger, Claude Seven.
Well, you can hear the Kiwis, a big call to everybody is, come on, make that defence, make it solid. Don't give them the opportunity to score any points at all.
Rinaldi showed it to Sands and kept hold. Took the third tackle, struggling to get to his feet, does so now, plays it to Wolf. Wolf then gives it to Yompi.
You can see it's nearly one-out football. Second phase of attack is virtually non-existent by the Frenchmen. They're really demoralised.
Bonquet. Back it goes, Dulac. Heshish.
Oh, that's a big hit. Oh, that was one big hit from Willie Talau.
Devechi stabs the ball through the defensive line again. Oh, mistake! Chances here, still chances here, still chances here.
Oh,
he scored.
He missed it.
Has Devechi scored?
I think he misses it. He's given it. He hasn't even gone for the screen, but I get the impression that the skipper, Fabien Devechi, missed that. One thing was for certain, the Kiwis were messing around big time.
Cue the can-can. The French are on the ball.
A little chip through as well. He offered some nice touches there as Rinaldi. I must say, Nigel van Ganaar made a real meal of it. Now then, does he? Yes, he does. Just gets it down.
And it was Claude Servent, the winger, I think, who got the final touch. There is Devechi. And in from this left-hand side of the screen now, well, yes, I think it is Claude Servent who got to it.
Not that they'll argue. Mission achieved. Frank Endicott will be not too impressed with that.
So the line has been breached at last. 44 points to 6. It took them almost an hour, though, to get across the line, the French. And it's Claude Seven, man from the St. Gaudens club, who got tries in the wins against Tonga and South Africa and made his full debut against Russia in 1991. 7 tries now in his last 5 appearances for France in this past 12 months. And Matt Rua has returned to the scene. There's a Frenchman down, injured in back play as Henry Paul snatches it away from one, gets it to Craig Sands. Dearie me. Craig Smith. Richard Swain, long ball. Robbie Paul, Richie Blackmore, try New Zealand. Try given. The French appealing that it was a forward pass to Blackmore. But Richie Blackmore gets over for the try for the Kiwis.
Twisted in the tackle, offloading at will now. Neat work by the halfback. Delayed it until the defence committed. Looks okay. That's good play by Robbie Paul. The centre Blackmore in for yet another try. Smiles all round. To knock that on.
Logan Swan.
He's had a big game, hasn't he? Tireless worker both in attack and defence. So impressed with the way that he offloads.
Beautiful ball. Great support from Robbie Paul. He was fed there by Ruben Wiki. And that's the hat-trick for Robbie. Under the sticks. Hat-trick for Robbie Paul. And he enjoyed that moment. 2 against the Cook Islands at Reading. And 3 here tonight.
Basic strength and speed. Good support play against a very tiring French defence now. Hat-trick time. He's certainly done enough to give Frank Endicott a nudge. But he really has some great players at his disposal, hasn't he? Stacey Jones, of course, rested for this particular match.
But Robbie might be playing his way onto the bench at least for next weekend.
I don't think there's any doubt about that after his performance tonight.
Henry adds the extras, 54-6. last match to go then. It's 54-6. The Kiwis will face England in the semi-final next weekend. But the French, they have carried the tricolour with real venom in this World Cup. Well done to them. Talau is tackled. Little chip over the top from Henry Paul to finish. This will be the last tackle of this match. There's the full-time siren. Frank Endicott has guided his men to the semi-finals. Robbie Paul with the hat-trick. Big smile from him, and why shouldn't there be? So now we know the last four of the World Cup, and the New Zealanders have gone in 10 tries again. Robbie Paul got 3 of them. Claude Servent with the only try for the French, converted by Freddie Bonquet. 54-6. So it's England against New Zealand, it's Australia against Wales. That's the last 4 of World Cup 2000. We've come a long, long way since the opening matches 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now we're at the semi-final stage. And when we return, we will reflect on this New Zealand victory with Sean McRae and look ahead to the semi-final. Rugby League World Cup 2000, 54 points to 6. They have beaten the French. Bobby Paul 3 tries, Matt Rua, Pongia, Smith, Kearney, Jellick, Talau and Blackmore. Henry Paul only kicked 7 goals though, and Claude Servent and Freddie Bonquet on the score sheet for the French. Here are the statistics. Amazing, New Zealand made 16 handling errors, but the 30 missed tackles by the French.
Okay, thanks very much, Roy. If I could just ask everybody to please be upstanding for the national anthems.
Of Papua New Guinea, written in fact by an Englishman. And now the Welsh anthem, Land of My Fathers. The two anthems well respected. And now, it being Remembrance Sunday, we will observe a minute's silence as a mark of respect to those who lost their lives in the two world wars. Let's look at the two team lineups. There's the Welsh side. Much has been made of their decision to call up two rugby union veterans. They've been hard hit by injuries. The chance to recruit Devereux and Moriarty, too hard to pass up for coach Clive Griffiths. And Kieran Cunningham returns, having missed the defeat by New Zealand. Papua New Guinea's team selection, the most consistent of any country. They made two changes after their opening victory over France and have stuck with the same players ever since. Look out for the halfbacks, number 6 Stanley Jean and the captain, number 7 Adrian Lamb. Iestyn Harris, the Welsh skipper. For Wales, a very big day as they try to repeat their feat of 5 years ago and reach the semi-final. And Adrian Lamb, so good that he could have been in the Australian side. There is no bigger tribute. In charge today, David Paquito, a 37-year-old production manager from Auckland.
It's Wales in possession at the moment. Briers finds Chris Tassell, hat-trick hero in the game against the Cook Islands at Wrexham, just down the road from here. In goes Justin Morgan now. Morgan playing in the prop role because of the injury to David Whittle, and then winning a penalty for Papua New Guinea going in high. It was Raymond Carl, I think.
Well, he drops into the tackle slightly, but Carl jumps and he's off his feet when he hits the point of contact.
Harris kicking towards the one remaining end of the old Norton Park here at the AutoQuest Stadium. He popped that one over emphatically and given Wales a good start. Wales 2, Papua New Guinea 0. Here's Raymond Carl. Carl head down, trying to charge through the Red Dragon defence. Michael Mondo. Now then, can PNG come up with something here? They've got options, and it's Lamb who is one of them. Adrian Lamb. And Wales are offside. And PNG get the penalty right in front of those posts. John Wilshere does the kicking for PNG. 9 goals already in the tournament. There's number 10. Levelling the scores. Wales 2, PNG 2. Raymond Carl makes the burst. That's a great break from Raymond Carl, a big prop. He's looking for some support. Aitchison's let him go. Carl's let the ball go. They'll chase that one, will Mark Mom, but he'd done everything there, Raymond Carl, and then he let it slip.
Brilliant run from Carl, burst through
Briers'
Morgan.
hand. Michael Mondo, 28 years old today, Mondo. A great way it would be to celebrate his birthday with a historic victory here at the AutoQuest Stadium for PNG Rugby League. Stanley Jean. Jean, well read by the Welsh. There's the substitute, Andrew Norman, who took that tackle. Lamb under pressure, that's great work from Wales, and Critchley is away. Critchley could go all the way. Jason Critchley will get the first try for Wales. Great pressure on Adrian Lamb. The ball came up, and Jason Critchley was there to take advantage of it. His first try in this World Cup. Cunningham trying to offload that. There was a PNG hand in there. It was the hand of Mark Mom. And it's gone back the Welsh way. The referee waves play on, and Cunningham again running straight at this PNG defence and through a couple of tacklers. He's got the centres, Kieran Cunningham. Harris doing well to offload to Cunningham. Aitchison now, Aitchison out the back. He was looking for Farrell, it's come for Cunningham. Cunningham, and Wales have a chance here maybe to put more points on the board. Farrell. Harris ships it way out wide now. Briers shows it one way, then goes the other. Briers gets the try. Second in successive games for Lee Briers. The little Warrington standoff. A try scorer against New Zealand and the Cook Islands, and that was great skill from the Welsh, keeping that ball alive and then eventually exploiting the gap out wide, and it was Briers that did it.
Don't flip them. Okay, stand square. Stand square.
Well, a long way to go yet, and PNG showed against France that they've got the spirit. They were something like 20-0 down against the French in Paris, and they came back to win that one.
Good work.
So there's a long way to go yet, but Busby is powering his way to that line, just managing to hang on to the ball.
He's got it.
It's a big tackle from Alex Krawanti. Now here's Harris. Harris, Briers out wide for Critchley. Critchley for Wes Davis. Davis gets that try, the one they wanted just before the break. Great hands again from the Welsh. PNG was stretched out wide, and Wes Davis gets his second try of the competition. PNG will be looking for their captain Adrian Lam to spark something for them. He did it against the French. Hasn't had an opportunity so far in this game. Stanley Jean now. Jean stabs the grubber kick in. Aitchison is across there and goes for the safety first option.
Great play from PNG. Great kick from Stanley Jean. Ran at the defensive line, committed the defenders. Very luckily, Paul Aitchison scooped it out.
This is threatening from PNG now. Stanley Jean. Jean back on the inside. That was good defence again from the Welsh. It needed to be, but PNG still coming strongly. Momondo flicks the ball on. Oh, that's great hands from PNG, and Sullivan almost in there. Wilshere now. Wilshere on the outside, and he's just taken into touch, is he? It could be a crucial intervention from Paul Aitchison there. The ref's gone for the screen. I think Aitchison just did enough to take John Wilshere out.
The first 5 minutes of this second half have shown us the Papuan intentions to get the ball wide. Wilshere dashes for the corner. Aitchison tries to save Wales again. Does he get the ball there before there's any contact? It's a very close call.
No try. Looks like a harsh call. Here's Elias Payo, former captain of this PNG side. Elias Payo off the bench today. Now Stanley Jean. Jean back on the inside. Oh, and then Alex Krawanti puts the ball down. He was under pressure, but that was a golden opportunity for PNG. Cunningham. Busby up the middle. Dean Busby still going. Dean Busby released by Warrington, but plenty of enthusiasm for the game still. Now Wales looking for more points. Heighton offloads to Harris. Harris gets the ball out wide, and Critchley's put it down. Critchley disgusted with himself. And Cunningham still continuing the discussion with Stanley Jean. And they'll be seeing each other next season. Devereux takes the ball in. He's now 34 years old, is John Devereux. He's got a bit of a bang there.
Welcome back to Rugby League. Yeah, I bet he's missed it.
Now I'm going to talk to you. I've spoken to him. I've spoken to him on several occasions for going on.
Meanwhile, David Pakiato just having a word with Adrian Lam and Stanley Jean. I think because of that last flare-up. And this should be the century for Harris. If he kicks this, he's on 99 points in Test rugby. And that's the 100. Well, 101 to be specific. Raymond Carl now. Carl taking the tackle.
That's where Adrian Lam's at his best, when he runs at the line and offers that short pass. Here he is again, working it.
Lam to Jean. Jean, now maybe this is the chance for PNG. Sullivan Wilshere will score this time. And Wilshere gets the try. Breers appeals for Paquieto to go to the screen, but the try will stand. And David Paquieto having none of that from the Welsh players. And Wilshere, denied a try at the start of the second half, eventually gets across the line.
Come on, boy, let him go.
Wes Davis, here's Mick Jenkins now again.
Okay, guys, work.
A really hard-working performance from Mick Jenkins and from Anthony Farrell. And that's big defence, and Farrell didn't like that. Well, that incident has gone on report.
Wait for the foot to tap.
The clock running down then. Wales 22 points to 8, the winners. And it's the Welsh who celebrate. Captain Iestyn Harris has led them into the semi-finals of the World Cup.
So Wales then have booked themselves a place up against the Aussies. I bet they're looking forward to that. Too strong in the end for the Kumuls. 22 points to 8, confirming that score for Wales. Tries through Critchley, Breers and Davies, and Harris with 5 goals for the Kumuls. Johnny Wilshere with all the points there. Well, after that match, our man Bill Arthur put up with a very pleased Welsh coach, Clive Griffiths.
Clive, that's a very satisfactory performance from your guys. You must be very pleased with it.
Absolutely, well, I'm very proud of the fact that we've emulated the achievements of 1995. And even though in the second half it wasn't too pretty, it was a lockout for most of the time, and apart from a pass out the back door there, which the right winger scored from, we're very solid.
Paul, what was it like to be back out there playing rugby league?
Yes, there's a good spirit amongst the boys. You know, it's the first time I've met quite a few of them, but they've made us feel quite welcome. And as I say, they're a good set of boys, and we settled in fairly easily amongst them this week. And yeah, they were proud to play for Wales, and they were keen to do well. And as we've seen today, now they've come away with a good victory.
A massive defensive effort here. It's going to take even more against the Aussies, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, the world champions, and you know they're oozing with class, and you know. We know it's going to take a bigger effort than that today, but we showed signs today that we were able to defend for a long period of time because we dropped some ball and we were getting lots of penalties against us. So, you know, we dug deep and came out on top.
And now you've got to face the Australians. What about that?
Oh, really exciting, you know, when you play against the best rugby players in the world, it's worth playing rugby for. There's no point just potting about playing against Joe Bloggs. You want to play against the best, and as it works out next week, we've got the opportunity to play against the best players in the world.
Bob, it was the first half that really did the damage in that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't turn out to play in the first half. I mean, first half we really played poorly, and at one stage of the first half I thought Wales were sort of on the back foot, and they got they scored that try, and after they just rolled on, and we didn't catch up with them. And I was looking at a couple of my players that have been really good throughout the tournament, and they just weren't out there to play football, and I kept getting messages out to them that they had to pick up their act a bit, and they didn't do that. And then second half, of course, when it was all but past us, they fired up, and that's just a bit too late, you know.
But nevertheless, I mean, for PNG Rugby League, this has been a tremendous competition already, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, but it's disappointing when you come away and we actually thought we could win this game tonight, and when you lose it, it's a bit disappointing. But then again, credit to Wales. I didn't think they'd pick themselves up off the floor, but there is one benefit to it all. We don't get to play Australia next week.
New Zealand, that's at Reebok Stadium, Bolton. And then on Sunday, the Aussies and the Welsh at McAlpine Stadium in Huddersfield.
The lineup was only unveiled an hour ago, and one of the reasons John Keir has kept his thoughts to himself was to cover up a back injury sustained by Adrian Morley. His loss is offset by the availability of Paul Sculthorpe, who's missed the rest of the tournament so far with hamstring trouble. Tony Smith gets the nod over Paul Rowley at hooker, and England's first task is to face up to this haka. As for the New Zealand lineup, they've been more open, and in fact guessing their selection was straightforward. Such is their strength in depth that Robbie Paul is only a substitute. Stacey Jones starts alongside Henry Paul, Former captain Quentin Pongia and second row Stephen Kearney are the leaders of a formidable pack. 2 of 6 players who remain from the team beaten by Australia in extra time in the semi-final 5 years ago.
But England within 3 metres of the line, a golden opportunity for them here. The kick is through. Smith has scored. Tony Smith has scored the kick from long, and England do have hope.
Most people expected that Rowley should have taken the hard knocks in the first half and bring Smith in as an impact player. Well, he's certainly become an impact player there. Superb combination between Long and Smith. There's still a long way to go, but I'm sure that John would have said, look, you give yourself a little bit of pride. They all knew they didn't play well in that first 40 minutes. Far too many mistakes, far too many missed tackles. Yes, just have a bit of respect for your own skill.
It was as bad a 40 minutes as it was a great 40 minutes at Headingley last Saturday night against the Irish.
Without doubt.
And there's a New Zealand player hurt. It's Craig Smith as the kick is angled towards the corner. It's a great kick too. Radlinski must keep in the field of play. Oh, and Tony Carroll is saying to the touch judge, and I think he's got a case, that Radlinski's arm was over the line.
Either it's a penalty for Carroll, making a second attempt. Oh, and Sculthorpe's come up with a mistake yet again. Same as in the first half, we're stretched.
It's with Craig Smith. Back on the inside it goes. Willie Talau. Willie Talau with the try for New Zealand.
The mistake coming yet again. Sculthorpe twilled the football. Big prop forward back on the inside. Willie Talau. An easy try.
Last one! No penalties!
Well, the referee's microphone is certainly sorted out in this second half. Here is Henry Paul, and he jinks inside Andy Hay. Henry Paul, he's got the men out wide. It's Nigel Banganar, and Banganar will slide over for another New Zealand try.
Super skills from the standoff, Henry Paul. Just toyed with the English defence. You cannot afford to hang back. He had the ability, long ball out wide, and so did the winger. He had confidence. Notice I'll go low. No way they could get to him to stop him.
No, I think we can just about safely say it's New Zealand first into the World Cup final. The way they're playing, the way this ball is sticking, and it's with Tony Carroll now. And Robbie Paul has yet to appear on the stage here at the Reebok for New Zealand. That's how strong this squad is. Stacey Jones. Here's brother Henry. Wide it goes to Talau. Back on the inside to Vainikolo. They're not going to stop him. Vainikolo, magnificent New Zealand try. His second of the match.
Simple, basic football. Everyone running onto the football as well. Look how deep they are. Spinning around. Hesitation yet again in the defence. Second phase. Henry Paul. Back on the inside. Not the best attempt from Mr. Naylor. He knew as soon as it swatted the centre away, it was try number 2. Well, I suppose you could say that the likes of Chev Walker, they will gain some experience from this. It may be painful, but sometimes you've got to endure that pain to take the step forward. Harvey Howard, can he inject something in, a bit of pride? And again, another mistake. Good work from Talau.
Jamie Peacock this time. Here come the Kiwis again with Craig Smith. Andy Farrell in with a tackle there. It's now with Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones back on the inside to Matt Rua. And the New Zealand coach, Frank Endacott, having the luxury of rotating his squad as they ease towards the World Cup final. Jones. Barnett. Nearly through.
We're not even moving off the mark now. We're just hanging back. We're waiting for the slaughter to come, and it will come, I'm afraid.
Oh, beautiful ball. That was Smith to Kearney. There's the support. There's Willie Talau. There's another try for New Zealand. Second try for Talau.
Look how easy it is for the prop forward, Craig Smith, to control it. Soon as Sculthorpe comes out of the line, gets it out to Kearney. Kearney makes it oh so easy. Too big, too strong, too powerful. Too embarrassing.
Conditions haven't conspired to help England, but there is an old saying, isn't there? It's the same for both sides, and you would believe that we were playing in middle of summer, looking at the way the New Zealanders are handling this football and playing with such skill.
It's been an all-round team effort. And that's the difference between the two sides, is that their ability to run for each other off the ball. I don't think I've seen more than 4 or 5 occasions that England have actually used a dummy runner, and they've come up with yet another mistake.
Well, the official stat would tell you that that is the 11th. But I think we've been a little bit kind to England. Robbie Paul from dummy half. Well, this World Cup has got just less than 13 minutes to run for England. But what more damage will New Zealand do to the English pride? Stephen Kearney electing to go on his own, flicking it out the back door. It's all coming off now. Here's Vainikolo. He's after his hat-trick. He's lost it.
He'll take the first knock on.
And it wasn't stripped from his grasp. That's the referee's view anyway. And England will take any small charity now.
Look at that defence, fantastic. Epitomises the team spirit. Big smiles all round on the Kiwis. And at 43-6, and you've just come up with defence like that. Welcome to the big world, Mr. Walker. Long way to go.
Now, can England give us something to remember? Stephen Kearney has been adjudged the man of the match here in the semi-final. Couldn't argue with that. Senior tries to step around Ruben Wiki. He's hauled down 10 metres short of the line. Long. Tony Smith wanted it and got it, and then he found his captain Farrell. Farrell with a bullet pass, out the back door it goes. This is Peacock, here is Walker. Walker dabs the ball into the in-goal area, and Stacey Jones is able to pick up and once more make his way back into the field of play.
Good option. Needle kicked through there, but Stacey Jones, pretty high shot there from Smith. But good work, though, from Stacey Jones. May not have been at his sparkling best today, but he didn't have to be. Even though Kearney, he'll pick up the Man of the Match award, I think you've got to say this has been a wonderful team effort. And it just shows you that if you're willing to dig deep and help each other, nothing is impossible.
Oh, and the ball is somehow smuggled out to Robbie Paul. New Zealand entering the last 5 minutes of this semi-final and looking for more points, even though they're 43-6 ahead. Back on the inside it goes. Beautiful hands. This is Kalis. He stepped out of one challenge. He's got support. Henry Paul over the top. That was good chasing back, though, by Keith Senior.
Good play, Logan Swan. Good support play.
It's delayed the inevitable. Swan is over, next to the posts. Another New Zealand try.
Look at this. Back on the inside. See how he pulls the defence here. Not the best attempt here by Andy Hay. They just palmed him off. Neat work from Kalis back on the inside. Run from the dummy half. Back on the inside. This is the end of it. But the one thing that Frank Endicott, the Kiwi coach, would have been proud of was the build-up.
It will be, providing Australia beat the Welsh tomorrow, it will be a magnificent World Cup final at Old Trafford in a week's time.
Ooh, a very rare mistake there from Stephen Kearney. A little bit slack there, but, well, that's a nothing kick.
Well, Long will claim that he was taken out as he tried to chase that kick over the top, but the referee would have none of it.
Well, it was a neat chip over the top, but you could see that there was no one running forward. No one on the English camp knew exactly what the halfback Sean Long was going to do. It has been a disappointing performance by England. And you see the interference by Anderson at the play the ball.
We have 20 seconds of this semi-final remaining, and the New Zealanders in possession. And the ball going backwards to Robbie Paul. On it goes to Stacey Jones. Here's Kalis. The Kiwis haven't failed to get 50 points for their coach Frank Endicott in this tournament so far, and they're looking to do exactly that now in the closing stages here. Playing the ball out wide, but that has found touch. That will be the end of it. There's the final siren. New Zealand smoothly glide their way to Old Trafford for the World Cup final in 7 days' time. There they will play either Australia or Wales. England.
New Zealand await the winners in next week's final, and on paper this looks like Rugby League's biggest mismatch. The Aussies began the tournament as 7-1 on favourites. Those odds are even shorter tonight. Wales aim to complete an incredible dream.
Girdler, Matthew Gidley, Wendell Saylor, the three-quarter line. Brad Fittler's the skipper, alongside Brett Kimorley. The forwards, Shane Webke, Craig Gower, Michael Vella, Gorton Tallis, Brian Fletcher, Scott Hill. And the bench, Trent Barrett, Robbie Kearns, Ben Kennedy and Nathan Hindmarsh, and the coaches, Chris Anderson. So the Welsh, Justin Harris has moved back to fullback to try and protect that shoulder. He's the captain. Chris Smith, Chris Tassell, Jason Critchley, Anthony Sullivan, Lee Breers and Ian Watson. And the forwards, Anthony Farrell, Kieran Cunningham, a welcome back to Rugby League for Paul Moriarty. Justin Morgan and Paul Heighton in the second row, and Chris Morley replaces the injured Mick Jenkins at loose forward. And on the substitutes bench, Wes Davis, Paul Aitchison, John Devereux, a welcome back to the game to him as well, and David Luckwell, and Clive Griffiths is the Welsh coach. Cruz and Mike Nicholas leading out the Welsh. Proud night for all these players, and a huge night for the men with the Welsh Dragon on their chest. Spectacular entrance to the McAlpine Stadium. Brad Fittler looking relaxed, big smile on his face as the fireworks crackle overhead. Unfortunately, plenty of spaces on the terraces. What a shame that the Rugby League public haven't got behind this tournament in more numbers than was expected. But it's Australia against Wales, and Old Trafford is the prize. There's a lot of tension on the faces of the Welsh players, and Wendell Saylor looks in determined mood as well. But now we stand for the national anthems of the two nations, Australia and Wales. So now the Australian national anthem. sneaking feeling that we might be hearing that particular national anthem played at least one more time in this tournament. So it's Australia against Wales for the right to meet the New Zealanders at Old Trafford in the World Cup final next weekend. And a big night for Russell Smith, the English referee, because with those two nations, probably Australia and New Zealand being involved, it is a massive chance, Steve-O, for Russell Smith to secure his place in the middle at Old Trafford on Saturday.
Sure is. He will be looking for a good game and an open game, and I think we will get that. Mainly due to the fact that the Australian three-quarter line, their captain, Brad Fittler, made it quite clear in the interview just before the kick-off that he's looking forward to playing in dry conditions. This will be the first time during this World Cup. So sit back and enjoy.
Kieran Cunningham is underneath the kick-off. He gives it to Paul Moriarty, and Paul Moriarty takes the first tackle of this World Cup semi-final against the green and gold of Australia. Yes, it's dry, it's a chilly night, but dry. There's a bit of wind blowing around the McAlpine Stadium, but for the first time in this tournament, the Australians find dry conditions, and that could really, really be ominous for the Welsh, particularly if Australia get on a roll early. That was a bit high from Webke.
Sure was. The official had a good look at it. Russell Smith said it came off the shoulder first. Yeah, it is. It slipped right over the top there.
Chris Morley felt that. Harris with the kick. Deep kick, but straight down the throat of Darren Lockyer. And now Australia with ball in hand for the first time. And he was tackled there by Jason Critchley.
Well, Clive Griffiths, the Welsh coach, will be disappointed with that. The one thing that they cannot afford to do is to kick directly into the arms of Darren Lockyer. One of the finest open play exponents of attacking rugby league you'll ever see.
Webke, good tackling by the front three of the Welsh. Cunningham led the way, helped out by Moriarty and Farrell. Here is Kimorley, and he helps the ball wide. And that's the prop forward Michael Vella, who rolls over, then gets to his feet. Gower was the dummy half. Here is Gordon Tallis. The Welsh after him.
Talking about going after him, Cunningham didn't miss on the big fella, Gordon Tallis. Tallis's head went right back.
High kick, and this is the first real test for Iestyn Harris. Oh, and he's missed it. The ball has bounced kindly, though. It bounced away from all of them, and Critchley was able to pick up. McDougall got to him.
Well, I think it shows quite clearly what a big problem Iestyn Harris has with the shoulder. There was no way he was going to attempt to lift up and run the risk of hurting it. That won't help him, though. That's a big tackle by Shane Webke.
Here is Moriarty. Paul Moriarty, 36 years of age, 7 years in rugby league, and now with the Swansea club in the other cold.
Big ask for him to come back so short notice, Eddie, Paul Moriarty. But
bags of enthusiasm, though.
Of course, as I say, this Welsh side, they will play with a lot of pride. Don't worry about that. You could see the chests lifting when the national anthem was being played. And they'll try to get into the face of the Australians. They'll try to upset them.
Well, there are one or two reputations on the line. Obviously, Kieran Cunningham, he is a man who was a teenager in the last World Cup. That's a great run, though, forward. And Cunningham now regarded, by the way, as the best in the world in his chosen position. Here is his opposite number, Craig Gower. He gets the ball away and offloads it to Scott Hill. That's good tackling, though, by Chris Tassell.
Great defence, but good work there by Craig Gower. Of course, he wants to show tonight. He wants to try to get himself into the World Cup final.
Well, he is, and Chris Anderson, their coach, told us before the match that there are places up for grabs in the 17 for next weekend, providing they can overcome the Welsh. This is Iestyn Harris now. He has to pick it up in the in-goal area, and McDougall leading the chase. The Welsh skipper was trapped there, so it's a dropout coming up underneath his own posts.
Be a big problem for Iestyn Harris and the Welsh tonight.
It's a very deep in-goal area here, by the way. Clive Griffiths, the Welsh coach. Is there already a problem on that bench? But there is the in-goal area, Steve, much deeper than we see in Super League when the Huddersfield Giants are in town.
Well, I was trying to just make that point because the Australian kicking game is quite superb. That was their first one, and it held up on that in-goal area. And when you look through their list, you know, Brad Fittler, Brett Kimorley, they're fine exponents of the short and long kicking game. So Wales will have to be really up for it for tonight.
And they do look, I must say, very enthusiastic in the tackling here early on, and it's worth mentioning after 4 minutes, they've held Australia at bay a lot longer than England held New Zealand at bay yesterday at Bolton. Scott Hill, well, have I spoken too soon? Lovely hands, this is Wendell Saylor. Jinking, dancing run from the big fellow.
Beautiful work by the centre, Matthew Gidley there, just offloaded, one-handed.
Here's Kim Morley. Kim Morley has started through the gap. He's over, first try posted. Well, a excellent 4.5 minutes. It was 3 minutes yesterday before New Zealand breached the English line. Kim Morley gets Australia moving and on the way to Old Trafford with the first try here.
Just basic football. You can see Kim Morley running out wide on the angle. Not the best defence. But disappointing for Clive Griffiths. Got up to a fine start, but they were just falling off the tackles, and this fella really has got explosive speed from a standing start.
Brett Kim Morley, the try scorer with the Melbourne Storm at the moment, moving to the Northern Eagles for 2001. At Newcastle he was understudy to Andrew Johns. And Andrew Johns, when fit, is now forced to play the hooking role. That's the hooking role, of course, for Australia. Ryan Girdler then with this conversion attempt for the Aussies, first one. 17 goals in this tournament so far for Ryan Girdler of the Penrith Panthers, and this should be goal number 18 for him, but he's hooked it the wrong side of the post. That is, for a kicker of this quality, a dreadful miss.
Man to put down. So is this fella, Adam McDougall. He'll want to get his big chance, and he has it tonight to force his way into that final 17 for next weekend.
Kim Morley, oh, bullet pass, but how on earth did that stick in the arms of Brian Fletcher? Kim Morley again, Scott Hill, trying to expose Wales down the middle, but Cunningham is there. Now then, down the short side goes Gower, he gets the pass away, and the pass against a Saylor, second try, wonderful pass from Gidley. Wendell Saylor, the referee having a chat with the touch judge, but it's given. No problems at all for Wendell Saylor.
And of course, as we just saw there, is that the open play, should I say, from the likes of Darren Lockyer, it switches the defence into attack, and of course, you're always on the back foot in your defensive line there. And they'll always find the extra man, will the Australians. They're very slick with the ball.
It's with Iestyn Harris now. Harris operating in his former role for the Leeds Rhinos, where he begins at full-back and maybe later on will be moved to stand off. That's a good run down the blind side from Kieran Cunningham, proving tonight why he is one of the best in the world. Here is Harris. Now it's with Breers. Back it goes then to Farrell. The support comes in from Watson. Watson scores! Watson's got it down for Wales. Ian Watson of the Swinton Club, who will be playing in the Northern Ford Premiership in a fortnight's time for the Widnes Vikings. And he has scored a try against the world champions. Well, there's a man who is proud as punch, and there's a man who is pleased as punch.
Well, they said he'd have no hope opposite his half-back, Brett Kim Morley, but this is great work back on the inside. Then he supports player Farrell, should I say. That is absolutely good work by the halfback. Watch, combination, back on the inside, and then doesn't give up, comes and supports. Fully deserved that. Lockyer tried everything he could. Wonderful effort.
And this is a big kick for Iestyn Harris, because this will take him past 100 points for his country. He's managed it, and only Jim Sullivan stands ahead of him now in Welsh point-scoring history. But what a moment for Ian Watson, who, as I say, will be plying this trade in the Northern Ford Premiership in 2 weeks' time, down at the AutoQuest Stadium with the Widnes Vikings.
That really was a class effort. Good work by the prop forward as well, Anthony Farrell, twisting in the tackle.
Well, that will lift the Welsh spirits.
Well, we knew they'd start with pride. They will not just throw in the towel and roll over and die. They will fight to the bitter end. Okay, we all know that the Australians have the power and the speed and the strength, but they are giving a good account of themselves, of this Welsh outfit.
They're playing on pride and guts, and here is Cunningham. A Cunningham. Well, he's tormenting them from dummy half. Moriarty now to Harris. Wales are on a roll. Harris at dummy half for the last tackle. Referee Russell Smith has the hand held high. And a dab over the top. An invitation for Chris Smith. Lockyer knows he's there. And the ball just running dead in goal.
Confident play by Wales. They're keeping the ball alive. And they really are putting the pressure on this Australian side.
Well, they said they had nothing to lose and everything to gain. And at the moment, they are gaining in confidence. And they are gaining in the admiration of the people watching this match here at the McAlpine Stadium. And I'm sure you watching at home. 16, nearly 17 minutes gone, 8-6. Who on earth would have thought that after nearly a quarter of the match, Wales would be within 2 points of the world champions?
Long way to go, of course, but with passes like that, anything can happen. The Australians are getting frustrated. Gordon Tallis forcing the ball when he didn't really have to. And if you get into the faces, irrespective of how good they are, and there's a problem for one of the Australians, he's down. I can't see who it is at the moment.
It's the centre, it's Girdler.
Ryan Girdler, you're right.
He's limping back into the defensive line as this ball is played to Cunningham. And here now is Watson, and he's found Heighton. And Heighton was almost through.
Well, if ever the Australians needed a wake-up call, this is it.
This is Harris. They're running it on the last. Breers. Bounce ball. Chances. Tassel. Tassel will score. Tassel has scored for Wales. This is unbelievable. Clive Griffiths on his feet. Tassel over the line. And Wales have got the Aussies rocking. Nobody tipped this.
All came about from the mistake, forced there, an offload from Gordon Tallis. It was Girdler that couldn't sweep it up. Not the best pass there, but let's forget it. Lee Breers made sure that it got to him somehow. Watch how Breers just swings it. They hesitate. Look at the gap there. Not only does it bring a smile to Tassel, it hits the ground. Is it forward? Is it a knock-on? You can call it what you like. Russell Smith said it was okay, so did the touch judge. Well, it'll put a smile on Tassel. I bet it will on Frank Endicott, our guest tonight.
Well, Iestyn Harris, Wales have the lead. And this to push them further ahead. It's on its way. He's got the two. It's 12-8.
What a turn-up. Who would have thought it? The world champions. They're trailing in the semi-final.
And Chris Tassel has scored the latest try. Man of the match against the Cooks at Wrexham. He got a hat-trick that night, only the 6th hat-trick in Welsh internationals. But all that will be placed on the back burner now. That try against the world champions here at the McAlpine will be the one he'll talk about for the rest of his life. Well, look at this scoreline. If you're just joining us, you've missed one of the most dramatic 20 minutes of this World Cup 2000. Australia ahead 8-0, 2 tries, and then Wales have hit them with 2 tries and, more importantly, 2 conversions. And the Welsh have the most unlikely lead after a quarter of this match has been played. And they are well worth that lead. And they've only had the ball in the opposition half in their own hands for 3 minutes. But boy, what 3 glorious minutes they've been.
They've taken their opportunity, they've chanced their arm, they've kept the ball alive, they're doing it again.
They are doing it again, and they're running at these Australians, and they're rocking them back on their heels. Tassel on the last tackle. Here now is Breers. Angle kick from Breers, an invitation for Sullivan to chase it down. Sailor's there. Good chase by Sullivan, helped out also by Watson and by Justin Morgan.
Pulled it up for this one. Well-weighted kick from Lee Breers. Look at the chase there. The big fella, Wendell Sailor, had nowhere to go. This is a test of the Australians' character. And with hits like that from Anthony Farrell, oh, they're feeling it out there to the Aussies.
This is Shane Webke now. And Chris Anderson has got his problems. The Welsh are ahead. Unbelievably, they're ahead. And it's with Craig Gower now on the last tackle, and they're still inside their own half, Australia.
Well, we expected the pride and passion from England yesterday. It was non-forthcoming. But the Welsh certainly have done that today.
Great chase down by Fittler.
4-point lead. Who would have thought it, as you say, Eddie?
But they're keeping the ball alive. They're taking chances, and it's coming off for them. And what's more, Girdler's all over the top of Watson and could easily have been penalised there. There has not been one single penalty in this match as yet. Changes on both sides. That is David Luckwell. Here is Kieran Cunningham, and he is enhancing his reputation tonight.
Great run from the hooker, causing all sorts of problems. The Aussies are slow to get the first, second markers into position. It's a great bomb.
Oh, and Breers has got it, and Breers is going to score. This is unbelievable. What a kick from Harris. He clutched it out of the arms of Darren Lockyer. Wales are celebrating. The try isn't given yet.
Was he
He's handed it on to the video referee.
And the catch situation when he competes.
He wants to see whether he was mid-air as well. Is he behind him? Yes, he is. That's okay. Now then, did he go for the ball or the man? That's what they've got to decide now. He finishes up with the ball. Lockyer goes up. Eyes on the football. So's Breers. So this is okay. Breers takes it simultaneously. Spins away. This is TRY time. Breers looks around. Everybody is stunned here that's connected with the Australian camp. This is sensational rugby league football. The world champions are rocking, and they ain't rolling.
And we know what this decision's going to be. A try is given. Lee Breers, well, he has had a World Cup and a half. A try in 3 of his 4 World Cup appearances for Wales this year. He's under the sticks. Harris is coming up now with a conversion. Well, somebody pinch me, I'm dreaming.
I will.
Harris adds 2 more. It's 18-8. A 10-point lead for Wales in a World Cup semi-final against the world champions, and what a kick.
It had snow in it. This came via the Pennines. Darren Lockyer, what an embarrassing moment for him. You could see he was far too casual there. He was on the downslope. This fella was going up, pulls up the 4, it turns into 6, and I don't think they can believe it.
18 points in 7 minutes for Wales. Now then, a 10-point lead against Australia. 23.5 minutes gone. Can they now hang on to the football? Well, I tell you what, anything could happen tonight. And oh, that's a high swinger on Anthony Farrell. And Shane Webke didn't miss it.
With all that, Shane.
They're rattled, Steve-O. The world champions are rattled.
Sure are. Step there, Anthony Farrell, that's a swinger.
They took a quick tap penalty. Here's Cunningham.
Not only that, there's a couple of Australians out there that have taken knocks. They look a little bit dazed, not just by the scoreline, but some of this impact tackling that the Welsh have thrown at them. This is a wonderful effort.
It's with Watson. Watson skips away from a couple, then he meets Nathan Hindmarsh, and eventually he's dropped to the ground. Harris is a dummy half. Here now is Heighton. It's Cunningham, and a drop goal from Breers. He's kicked it. He's kicked it, has he? Yes! Lee Breers. Well, rip up the script. Rip up the script and burn it, because that's exactly what Wales are doing.
Talk about using common sense. Standoff Lee Briers certainly has done that. That is wonderful thinking from Briers.
Steve-O, the big difference is, so far, these Welsh players are hanging on to the football. They're conceding no penalties. They're playing with spirit and pride. They're thinking about what they're doing. They know they've got nothing to lose. They've thrown caution to the wind. It's coming off for them.
Giving it their best shot, and that's what's the big problem with the Australians. They just thought after scoring that first try on the first two when Sailor went in that it was going to be one-way traffic, but it's not.
Look at Cunningham. He's running the show. Here goes Harris. The Australians are in disarray. Tassel. Well, this can't continue, can it?
It's a long time since an Australian side have had to face this difficulty.
Another drop goal. Briers again.
What a great option. He's got it.
It's another one for Briers. Oh! Well, I'm speechless. But what a drop goal from Lee Briers. He was over 40 metres out.
Outstanding effort yet again. Oh, long may it continue. The big boys from down under. The Glover team.
Well, 20 points to 8 here at the McAlpine Stadium. Not to Australia, but to the Welsh. If you're with us on Sky Sports tonight, watching this live, there is an Australian flat out. If you're with us tonight on Sky Sports, watching this live, you are watching one of the great sporting stories of the year.
Oh, Scott Hill, I think has caught one from one of his own mates. And he went down very quickly indeed.
Craig Gower gets it into Nathan Hindmarsh. And Wales now tackling to try and defend that line. The Australians are 18 metres shy of it. It's with Kim Morley. It goes wide to Scott Hill. Back on the inside it comes. And Farrell got in the way. And Justin Morgan got the tackle in. It's with Kim Morley. It's now with Fittler. Fittler is through. Aussie's reply. Brad Fittler, the captain, gets through the Welsh defence. There's not too much celebrating going on because Fittler knows that his men are in a battle.
It's what they needed. Desperate for possession, and they've turned it into points. They needed this so badly, and when the skipper scored this, he plonked it down and then pointed back to the halfway line and said, come on, let's get back here. We want to get on with business. This should not be the scoreline. We are the world champions. That's what he will be saying. But boy,
Get up quickly, go on, get up and wait.
Gower on the charges, Sailor! Sailor, is he over the line?
He is, but it's short.
Held him up.
Time, please.
10 seconds to the half-time break. Sailor says he scored.
I don't think so.
And the referee has gone to the video referee for clarification. The Aussies are claiming this is a try by Sailor.
Well, he must have twisted around very quickly.
He hit the ball with such power, though, Steve-O.
There you see him, he's decked. He's short there. I think he's short all over.
He's lost it.
Well, he seems to lose it. And does he regain it? Well, he's nowhere near the whitewash, so this is no try anyway. How we restart it is anybody's guess, but I think it's a knock-on. So it'll be defensive head and feet scrum. He went near, but what wonderful defence. You talk about pride and digging deep. Oh, that's great defence. Good work from Paul Heighton.
And David Luckwell was in there as well. Well, I think we believe it's a no try. Wendell Sailor was claiming it a few minutes ago. And it is no try, and scrum to the defence, which is Wales. And Clive Griffiths' boys are going to go in at half-time with the most unlikely lead of this World Cup so far. And Chris Anderson just simply cannot believe it. There's the half-time siren. The most remarkable 40 minutes of rugby league in this World Cup that we have seen this year. The most remarkable 40 minutes in Welsh history, I would venture to suggest. They lead the world champions by 20 points to 4. 14 rather, and they are absolutely 100% worth that advantage. They ran 3 tries past the Aussies. Breas added a couple of drop goals to Iestyn Harris's conversions. Wales are ahead, 20 points to 14. Pinch yourselves, you're not dreaming. They'll be playing. Look at that scoreline, and already the Welsh have equalled their best ever score against Australia in that first half. 20 points to 28 in 1911. And the last time that Australia were trailing at half-time was in that tri-series match against New Zealand in 1999, and they eventually lost by 24 points to 22. So history beckons for the Welsh tonight. They have never, ever beaten Australia at International Rugby League before, and they are 40 glorious minutes away from celebrating the most unlikely of victories. Can they do it? We'll stay with us here on Sky Sports and find out. This is an absolutely incredible night that has unfolded here at the McAlpine Stadium. And the Welsh are piling in with the tackles already. That was Justin Morgan of the Canberra Raiders who got the first tackle in there for the men with the red dragon emblazoned on their chest. But it's with the green and golds right now. But if Wales can continue tackling like this for the full 80 minutes, who knows? Who knows what might happen? Kimorley with the kick over the top. And Anthony Sullivan will come back and claim it deep in his own 20. Kimorley leading the chase, with a little bit of help also from Trent Barrett. Now then, it's with Iestyn Harris. Thoughts of the injured shoulder now completely forgotten. He takes the tackle from Adam McDougall, gets up and plays the ball quickly. Here come Wales again, but this tackling led by Barrett, the substitute, is much more stern and much more secure at the start of this second 40 minutes. I bet that Chris Anderson had the paint peeling off the dressing room walls here at the McAlpine.
Well, he's a pretty cool character, is Mr. Anderson. One thing that he cannot allow the Australian players to start thinking is that just rely on the fact that perhaps their superior fitness will take them through. It has done over the last 15 or so years, but they really are going to have to fight for it. They can't just sit back and wait for Wales to capitulate, because they won't.
And the Welsh are tackling, and the Australians are risking. It's pretty risky business. And that should have been penalised. When Sullivan was pushed away there by Matthew Gidley, the referee should have penalised him. Scott Hill is bundled over the line. Lee Breas, what a match this little fella's having. The Warrington scrum half playing stand-off tonight. Well, and with Kieran Cunningham, by the way, and whether that is legal or not, I'm not so sure. That particular grab between the legs by Cunningham, and Breas has hurt his elbow, I think, in making that particular tackle.
No, it won't worry him. That was wonderful defence. Got away with it, though, did Kieran Cunningham.
From the base of the scrum, this is Chris Morley of the Sheffield Eagles.
Get off!
Well, it's good, solid, basic football that this Welsh side are producing. They're turning in the tackle. Cunningham is controlling things from dummy half. They are playing out of their skins.
My mind goes back to the Challenge Cup final in 1998, Steve-O, when Sheffield Eagles beat the Wigan Warriors, coached by a certain Englishman called John Keir. And, well, that was the result that nobody expected. And I just wonder whether we're seeing more history here.
Well, remember what I said in the first half, the Australians have got to get this football, and I'd go for the drop goal again, and they have.
And he has done. Breas, though, this time it's just sliced the other side of the posts.
They are the right tactics. Anguished look on the face of Clyde Griffiths. Position and keep getting the 1 point all the time.
Penalty! Didn't play the ball properly. Robbie Kearns did not get to his feet and put the ball down on the floor. Tried to play it from a horizontal position. All right, Moriarty was all over him.
Never made any attempt to stand up. That's the reason why Russell Smith has given the penalty to Wales. Well, you keep mentioning the fact, and there's the look on their coach, the Australian coach Chris Anderson. He looks more than concerned, and every right to be. That particular game at Wembley, when Sheffield did the impossible, It was when Wigan in the second half started to lose the plot. They started to...
Look at him. Look at Clive Griffiths.
Well, he's every right to be very, very happy with it, as is the manager, Mike Nicholas. They really have worked hard. I mentioned the word pride, but I'm just saying it was Wigan that second half at Wembley that started losing the plot, started arguing with the referee, and it looks like the Australians are doing exactly the same thing.
Big kick here for Iestyn Harris. This would mean that the Australians have to score at least twice. He knows how important it is too. Harris won't be rushed. That's why he won't be rushed. 2 more points to the Welsh total. 22-14. Hell, the Welsh flags. The Prince of Wales feathers. They're flying high on the terraces. Well, I can't believe this. I've said it all night. Let's go down to the pitch side now and Bill Arthur. Bill, are you pinching yourself? Here is Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh over the top of one. He's still going, Hindmarsh. Just hauled down by Moriarty. Half a metre short. Gower.
Got to be a penalty. You can't do that. Ian Watson trying to get away with it. It was Lee Briers that got penalised in the first half.
And I think the referee will be warning Iestyn Harris and company now.
He's not stood with 2 feet on or behind the line and dive on a voluntary tackle basis to go in the bin, okay?
Well, you heard the referee. You heard the referee, Russell Smith. And you've got to be well and truly behind the line there.
They're not taking the 2 on offer. They're running it, looking for 4.
Well, there's a surprise, Eddie.
They did it in the first half as well.
They need the try.
They do. Fittler, Fletcher! Fletcher gets it. Fletcher gets the try. And the referee wants to go to the video. Significant change of kick here. It's Darren Lockyer. And he gets the extra 2. But back it comes to Kamali. Back on the inside to Lockyer. Australia have the lead. Darren Lockyer with the try. His first try of this World Cup campaign. And now the green and gold flags can wave.
Oh, Tallis saw the green light and he was coming.
Here's Fittler. Fittler!
He's got there.
He's over the line. The referee wants to pass it on again to the video referee.
Let's have a look, Steve. Just make sure there's no double movement in there. Possibly could have been short initially.
Was there a double movement? That's what referee Russell Smith wants the video ref to check on.
No, he's short there, but is he slid? No, it's slid over. That's a try. Tallis trying to... Well, he seemed to be losing it as well, but little doubt that Cunningham's arm was interfering. And as I mentioned, Eddie, the respect that the Australians now are giving the Welsh side, they're taking an opportunity for the 2 points. And he has not been in good form, which surprises me.
Yes, 1 from 3 for Lockyer, and earlier on Ryan Girdler wasn't terribly squiffy with the boot. 1 from 3 for him as well. So Lockyer, 63 minutes on the clock. 2 more points to Australia. They hit the 30-point mark. Wales have 22. But now, Steve-O and Frank Endicott have to choose the man of the match. I wonder if they pick a Welshman. Here now is the speed of Trent Barrett. The ball inside. And Lockyer has touched down again. Second try of the night for Lockyer. I think Clive Griffiths knows that the game is up for Wales. But what a super effort. Lockyer with the try. They're now heading serenely to Old Trafford, but boy, were they knocked out of their stride for almost an hour by these Welsh Dragons.
Quick pair of hands, a very, very tired defence indeed. Not many opportunities for Darren Lockyer, but he took it on this occasion. Good work from Trent Barrett. He's injected a little bit more pace into the attack since he came off the substitutes bench. Lockyer in for his second try in the second half. Could have been a hat-trick, of course. But very early after the restart, Fletcher made a superb break, and Lockyer, most unusual for him, dropped the football with the line at his mercy.
Lockyer now bang in front, courtesy of his try underneath the sticks. And no problems there for the Brisbane Bronco. 36-22. Australia ahead. And now it'll be a bridge too far for Wales, I think. But, Steve-O, we have to take our hats off.
Runs now wide, and it's a bad mistake that could prove costly.
Yes, the green and gold jerseys are lining up this way. And that's Barrett again. Lockyer with a little signal. He's going to come down the short side, is he? Yes, he finds Gower. Gower gets away from Farrell, and he gets away from another, and Gower scores another try for the Australians. They're coming thick and fast now. Craig Gower gets another 4 points. His first try of this World Cup, and this is his first appearance of World Cup 2000. And feed to the Welsh. 2 minutes of this match remaining. Australia with the victory that many people thought inevitable, but there's been nothing inevitable about this. And it's one of those nights, Steve-O, isn't it? I mean, Max Boyce is probably one of the greatest living Welshmen, and what's his famous catchphrase? I was there. And there will be a lot of people at the McAlpine Stadium who will be able to say tonight that they were there the night that Wales really gave the Australians a stiff examination.
True grit. They're the words that come to mind. They really have taken it to them. And the so-called arrogance of this Australian side, it's been dented. A lot of egos have been dented out there as well. And what about the effort from this fella, Houston Harris?
Yes, bravery.
He wasn't going to be in the side on Friday, but he wanted to play.
Says a lot about him. It says a lot about the Welsh spirit that they have clung on to the Australians. Breers with another great kick, and Saylor will run this ball back. He skips away from one. He puts his hand in the face of Aitchison, but Aitchison, to his credit, stuck to his guns. We're in the last minute. Australia looking to end with another try.
Let's just hope that the Welsh will keep them penned down. They're so classy, the Australians, like nothing better than to score from deep within their own quarter.
Keep them down, Wales.
Good ball. And here's Saylor. Appeals for forward. Saylor is away. Saylor's got support. This is Ben Kennedy. Timorley's on his inside. Brilliant hands. It's with Gidley. And again, back to Scott Hill. Scott Hill to the line. Off it goes to Kennedy again. Fantastic. Fantastic Australian try to take with them to Old Trafford. Such speed of hand, such speed of thought. And Ben Kennedy leaves us with an abiding memory of this semi-final, which on the whole has belonged to Wales. But Ben Kennedy with a truly amazing Australian try.
So skillful. I mentioned that they will keep it going, and they attack from deep within their quarter. The sheer strength of Wendell Saylor against a very, very tired Welsh outfit there. McDougall did well with a slip pass here. Oh, that is superb from Matthew Gidley. Remember the first pass in that first half? Oh, that was great. Super stuff. At last, at long last, this crowd have witnessed a truly brilliant Australian-style try.
It is a try, and this conversion to come that will just give the scoreline a little unbalanced look, in my view. For all the effort the Aussies and the Welsh have put in here tonight. 46 points to 22. Australia safely home to the World Cup final at Old Trafford. But boy, are they breathing a sigh of relief. This Welsh team has taken it to them and has given us an absolutely fantastic night to remember. And Bill Arthur now is with the Welsh coach, Clive Griffiths.
Clive, that scoreline does not shot reflect a performance you should be so proud of?
No, I'm very proud of that, Bill, and perhaps some people will give us a bit of respect now. We went out there and took them all the way, and for 60 minutes we had a dream. It wasn't to be. We had a few dubious decisions against us. We've got them on a roll, and a quality side like that will take advantage.
But sensational courage, commitment and pride.
Well, it has been since day one, and we're here by right, and today you've seen a good Welsh side put up a good performance.
You proved a lot of people wrong.
Well, we have right through, Bill, and I'm so proud of the lads. It's been a great 5 or 6 weeks together. The adventure's over now, but we look forward to the future, and with a bunch like this, it's looking good.
Thanks, Clive.
Thank you.
It is indeed looking good. Australia take their place in the World Cup final, but we will never forget the effort of Lee Briers, of Iestyn Harris, of Kieran Cunningham, of Ian Watson. Indeed, you can read out every 17 names, and so I will. Harris, Smith, Critchley, Tassel, Sullivan, Briers, Watson, Farrell, Cunningham, Moriarty, Morgan, Heighton, Morley, Davis, Aitchison, Devereux and Luckwell. They have written their names in the history books of this fabulous game, and the Welsh have given us so much to savour and enjoy. The adventure is over, but they have given us a night to remember here in Huddersfield. Just a bridge too far for them. Australia go on to face New Zealand at Old Trafford, but we will never forget this night, those of us who are lucky enough to be here. Such spirit.
And Lockyer, Kimorley, Saylor, Fletcher, Gower and Kennedy weighed in with one apiece. Girdler and Lockyer with 4 goals. 46-22, but Watson, Tassel, Briers with the tries. He'll never forget this night. Penalties were 9-5 in the Australians' favour, and Wales, well, they tackled themselves to a standstill, but they made 42 missed tackles, and that maybe was the problem, the heart of the problem. Well done, Paul Heighton, Kieran Cunningham and Justin Morgan, all 30 or more tackles in the match. And the Aussies know that...
Brad, you made heavy weather of that, do you reckon?
Oh, yeah. I think we've got to give a bit of credit to Wales. They come out prepared. You know, sometimes I think you might go into games and think you're prepared, but when you get out there and the side actually puts pressure on you, you know, you sort of get a bit stalked by it. So they played great tonight, and you know, they should be very proud of themselves. And it wasn't until we sort of settled down and got on with their game that we sort of, you know, got a bit of a roll on.
And bring on the Kiwis now, eh?
Yeah, it'll be good. Let's make sure the best 2 teams in the competition. And looking at their performance yesterday, I think we're going to have to pick up our act a bit and have a good week's training.
Thanks, Brad.
Cheers.
This is it. After this, we really can crown the best in the world. Will it be a 6th World Cup in a row for Australia? Or will the people's choice, New Zealand, enjoy final glory?
And now, the New Zealand national anthem, God Defend New Zealand, to be sung by Les Dwight. Well received by everyone here at Old Trafford, and now Kim Chandler, who did us the honours at Twickenham. Advance Australia fair.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil, well fertile. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page at every stage, at birth Australia bear. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The fans now eager to get this match underway. Australian coach Chris Anderson makes his 2 back changes to the team which beat Wales in the semi-final. Adam McDougall switching from wing to centre in place of the injured Ryan Girdler, and Matt Rogers returning to complete that 3-quarter line. Andrew Johns returning at hooker. And Stephen Kearney about to lead the Kiwis in the haka. I don't know whether that was appreciated by Shane Webke, the Australian prop or not, but certainly the crowd did. New Zealand fielding the same 17 players who beat England in the semi-final, so no plays for Bradford's Robbie Paul in the starting lineup, but expect the earth to shake when giant wing Leslie Vainikolo collides with Wendell Saylor on the wing.
Again, Kearney is there. They're bang in front of the posts. Australia, Johns, Fittler, wide it goes, try for Hindmarsh. Nathan Hindmarsh, a vital try for the Australians. Richard Swain is the dummy half. Craig Smith, good run, great run from the New Zealand prop forward. That'll lift them.
Much better there, could have been a flop as well.
He's warming up his Robbie. That's Richard Swain at dummy half, fires it to brother Henry. Wide it goes then to Stacey Jones. They've got a man on the overlap. It's Tony Carroll. Here now is Van Gennep, and he's hauled down again.
What a great tackle from the skipper, Brad Fittler. Oh, that was poor play by the Kiwis. There was no one in there at the dummy half. Stacey Jones had to slide in.
The ball was all over the shop then, but New Zealand hold on and keep the possession. Here's Henry Paul again. Back it goes to Richard Swain. He straightens it up, and Scott Hill was waiting for him. It's the 5th and last.
Beautiful sliding defence there by the Australians.
Stacey Jones, a little dink over the top. Looking for the big fella, Matt Rua. It's dropped by Nicolo. He's going to score. Australia waiting for the knock-on. Australia wait for the knock-on. By Nicolo takes it into his own hands.
Knock-on in there by New Zealand player.
Jerry Kershaw with the decision now.
That was all right.
Neat little chip over.
Well, Matt Rua is the man in there.
Well, it looks to me as though Lockyer has knocked it forward. And Vainikolo, yeah, it comes off the body of the fullback, Darren Lockyer. This will be a try, surely, for the Volcano. He didn't have to erupt on this. Yep. Watch it come off the elbow of Darren Lockyer.
Vainikolo waits, decision is... try! Old Trafford raises the roof. Darren Britt on the charge.
Well, they're always likely to do that. Ooh, he nearly lost that, did Britt. Did well to hang on. Big hit from Craig Smith.
Jason Stevens.
Surely Australia will just go through the basics, nothing fancy. They'll apply this kick and chase.
It's with Kimorley. Kicker-in-chief, Kimorley's ghosted through. Kimorley's got Lockyer inside him. Lockyer touches down for Australia. Lockyer scored it, but put that down to Brett Kimorley. Richard Swain, Henry Paul now. It goes to Barnett. And Barnett trying to jink his way through. Willie Talau is there, he's still going as Barnett. They're dropping off the tackles, the Australians, and eventually they make one, courtesy of Jason Stevens. Here's Richard Swain again. Henry Paul, Stacey Jones, little dab through. It's come up. Oh! Kearney!
Kearney is knocked on. Chance gone. Oh no! Kamala's knocked it.
Great tackle from Vainikolo, who's picked up the loose ball. Vainikolo goes again, tackled by Saylor. Oh, this match has had everything, and there's more to come. Logan Swan, brilliant pass. Henry Paul, Tony Carroll, around McDougall. Still going, Carroll! Tony Carroll scores! They won't go away. New Zealand will not go away. And it's with the Kiwis now with Jones. Stacey Jones to the volcano. Scott Hill and Wendell Saylor get to him. Stacey Jones at dummy half. Logan Swan waits and gets on. It goes then to Kearney. Kearney drives it in and he's hauled down. Oh, the volume's gone up here. The neutrals in the crowd are willing New Zealand home. Robbie Paul, Henry Paul. This now is Willie Talau.
They've come alive of the Kiwis. They know they're in with a chance. They can sniff the chance to level the scores.
Robbie Paul. Ball back on the inside, charging run. What defence. That's how close New Zealand are, though. Robbie. Stacey Jones. Kearney. Kearney! Oh!
That'll be back to 6. He knows it. He went for the ball. That'll be a hit and feed to the Kiwis. It's a big mistake by Wendell Saylor. He really all he had to do was just let that ball go into touch.
Henry Paul. He now has the big Nathan Kalis. And he gets the ball away. Robbie Paul, Stacey Jones, Kearney. Vainikolo off the deck. Vainikolo, they're keeping it alive. Robbie Paul.
Scrambling defence, superb from Australia, it has to be. What a wonderful pass from Kearney that kept that ball alive.
Jones, Henry Paul. Henry Paul still. On the charge was Logan Swan. Flying tackle from the captain, Fittler. Gone without it.
Gone without it. Henry Paul has come up with a mistake. And you don't have to be Einstein to work out what's going through the mind of Frank Endicott. Oh, he was going to run for glory and finished up with absolutely note. Chris Anderson still looks pretty cool out there, but he knows. Oh, great break.
Barrett just on for the injured McDougall. They're doing everything to hold him down. Nigel Vangan got away with it. And it's now with Fittler. Fittler's taking them on. Back it goes to Lockyer. And he was grounded by Logan Swan. It's the last one for Australia. Kimorley will run at the defence. Scott Hill. Wide it goes. Gidley. Gidley's got Saylor there. Wendell Saylor for the corner. Will score. Wendell Saylor is having the game of his life. Wendell Saylor. Denied by the video referee in the first half. Not denied now.
Well, how many times, Eddie, do we mention it, the fact that these Australians in the final quarter just produced something extra?
And this is Rogers. He thought it was in. Fittler wants it. He's got it. Chances here. Support arrives. This is Hindmarsh. And somehow New Zealand stand firm. It was Henry Paul. Andrew Johns. They're firing it wide. It's with Lockyer. Lockyer over the top. Gidley. Saylor. Another try. World Cup on its way to Australia. Saylor with the try. 2 for him. Australia reigns supreme again. John.
He's had a wow of a game, hasn't he?
Big hit by Joe Bangener. Look out, Super League. Joe's in town next year. Kimoli, Lockyer, Aussies aren't done yet. Fittler to crown it. Brad Fittler, the Australian skipper, just ghosted past the last line of defence. And Brad Fittler just gets ready to enjoy a very, very big night here in Manchester. So about 5 minutes to go. It's 34 points to 12. To be absolutely fair to New Zealand. Barrett comes on and has marked his appearance in the World Cup final. Trent Barrett. It is turning into what it should never have been, and that's a rout. They've had a wonderful tour, haven't they? And Gidley is looking for more. Down the touchline it goes. It's just flicked off the boot of Barnett. Only 10 seconds remaining. And the Australians in the crowd are counting down to another World Championship.
Well, the Aussies don't want to form the scrum. It's all over. That's a nice gesture.
Game over. Big time. Australia are the world champions.
It didn't quite happen for you. Well, we never had enough ball to do anything, you know. I mean, the first half we just tackled our guts out, and that effort really told in the second half in the last 25 minutes.
Did you think you almost had them at one point when you got back within 6 points?
Yeah, I did, but I knew fatigue had set in, and one more try, maybe the adrenaline would have come back, but at the end of the day, they were just far too good.
And the scoreline really didn't reflect the game in the end, did it?
Well, no, it didn't, you know. I thought we played better than the scoreline did, but, you know, that's life. Never won. Sick of coming here losing.
You win one in the end, Frank.
Yeah, hopefully one day.
Thanks, Frank.
Cheers.
Yes, handling defeat like a true gentleman, but that's confirming the result. Australia 40, New Zealand 12 for the Aussies. Tries through Gidley, Hindmarsh, Lockyer, Saylor with 2. Fittler, Barrett also with tries, and Rogers kicking 6 goals for the Kiwis. Just the 2 tries. Vainikolo and Carroll, and Henry Paul with the 2 goals. Well, after that match, Bill Arthur caught up with a man who has had a tremendous tournament and quite deservedly was man of the match.
Well, the touch judge there looks just like I do when I'm trying to order a meal in Paris.
Andy Hayes on the walls to the line. It's a record win for England in the World Cup.
And can you believe it? 110 points has been scored to 4. Highest ever score by the Australians in a rugby league match. And Ryan Girdler, the most points by an individual.
A record-breaking night for Wales' best ever World Cup victory.
Hazamel Masri, a little bit of Hazamel magic there.
And I was a little surprised that Namu didn't kick the goals earlier. He was off the field, though. That's probably why.
Pretty difficult. I've seen many things done from the dugout, Eddie, but not kick a goal.
Walker touches down. England on the way to the semi-finals.
Captain Iestyn Harris has led them into the semi-finals of the World Cup.
New Zealand smoothly glide their way to Old Trafford. Somebody pinch me, I'm dreaming. Fantastic Australian try to take with them to Old Trafford. Saylor, another try. World Cup on its way to Australia. Australia are the world champions.
Yeah, highlight.
This is a moment when the nerves will really start to jet them.
Break out the vodka, Tony, because it's great to be a Russian. Highest ever score by the Australians in a rugby league match. The Maoris are off to a winning start in the group of death. PNG will go home. They've already made history in their homeland with their exploits in their competition.
Breers at scrum. That's a good pass to Harris. Harris, neat sidestep. He's causing problems as this Welsh skipper. 3 metres now then from the Rhinos line. The Rhinos line. Jenkins, will he go himself? I think he will. Oh, Jenkins is over, I think. On the try. Yes, that's a try. So, another chance for Wales to increase that lead. Harris again. That's a good pass out to Critchley. Here's a chance now. Sterling on the outside. Oh, good play by Sterling. Superb play by Sterling. Real class there.
They are professionals and they are bringing us to a spectacle of rugby league.
Wales using the forwards well, driving away here at Yachty now. Back with oh, Jenkins going again, and there is that inexperience again. Mick Jenkins scoring his second try of the night. Jenkins again. Harris. Nice pass. Back again. Whittle. Looks a good prospect here, this youngster. David Whittle. The ball out to Breers. Breers, nicely judged pass. Oh, that's a try for Busby. Or is it a forward pass? No, says referee Ganson, just checking with his in-goal judges. Lee Breers wanted to get away with a trick or two there. That's in half-back. To Harris. Harris again. Oh, beautiful dummy by Harris. Beautiful play. That's the quality of this lad. One of the finest players in rugby league. Oh, that's a good tackle, good cover tackle there. Barry Eaton not quite getting through, but terrific tackle from Johnson, but it's Wales now. Pressure again, Harris, the kick to the corner, where's the wingman? He's there, Chris Smith, in at the corner. Smith trying to take a little bit of a march down the blind side, back to Wes Davis. Oh, Davis did that nicely. Davis, he's got some space here. Can he go round the full-back? I think he will. Good try there from Wes Davis. Oh, well taken. Not the best of passes. Good break there by Erasmus, but well taken there by prop forward Eugene Powell. And it's that man Best again, racing for the line. Oh, a good try! And he's in!
Well, South Africa began their campaign